In later years, enjoying solitude can be quite fulfilling. Avoid becoming overly dependent on your offspring. What advantages do older adults experience when they live on their own? Many older individuals feel that relying on their children is not something to be ashamed of. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you could like this video. Your support enables me to share important information on the aging process. I strongly recommend subscribing and turning on the notification bell to ensure you stay informed about all the latest videos. If you found this video beneficial, please share your thoughts by commenting with the number 1. Your feedback is invaluable. Please share a 0 if you have any suggestions for enhancing future videos. Let's get started and explore further. When children take on the responsibility of caring for their parents, it reflects their achievements and competence. It is admirable to focus on the moments shared with your children. Older adults can feel confident about meeting their nutrition and hydration requirements. On the other hand, relying exclusively on grandchildren often leads to challenges. Many examples have shown that relying on children is not the most efficient strategy. Self-reliance is frequently the most efficient strategy. An illustrative case is Mrs. Lawn, aged 75, who faced a considerable health challenge 2 years ago. After that experience, she gained insight into her future in later years and decided to prioritize these 3 aspects rather than relying on her children. What causes Mrs. Lawn to feel that relying on her children is unhelpful and insufficient as she grows older? What elements should she protect? It is essential to consider Mrs. Land's narrative to enhance our comprehension of this matter. I am 73 years old and have been navigating life as a widow for the past 13 years. Before my husband's passing, we shared a fulfilling and happy life together. We are fortunate to have 2 sons and 1 daughter, each enjoying rewarding and secure lives while living and working in the city. Regrettably, the favorable phase was brief. 5 years after retiring, my husband sadly passed away in a car accident. Since that time, I have been navigating a solitary existence in a cold home. In the past, I was confident that my health was stable, and with my monthly pension, I could take care of my well-being on my own, even without my husband by my side. After his passing, the person responsible for the accident gave me 300 million VND for the incident, along with 200 million VND that my husband had saved over the years. Despite everything, I still experienced a lingering sense of discomfort. Living a long life independently with financial means can often feel lacking in meaning. Do you understand the factors contributing to Mrs. Land's worries? She conveys that many seniors advised her to focus on dining, traveling, shopping, and hiring help, but she felt that this way of living in her later years did not align with her values. She always held the conviction that children needed support, but it was only when faced with difficulties that she genuinely grasped the truth. Her children displayed a notable inclination towards selfishness and a desire for more than what they needed. After the loss of her husband, she aimed to find comfort by approaching her duties with an optimistic perspective. Initially, they agreed that she would spend 5 months living with each son, followed by a 2-month period at her daughter's residence. She was granted the autonomy to choose and stay for as long as she wished. After spending time with her children, She recognized that this living arrangement was not enhancing her sense of happiness and fulfillment. When her children extended an invitation for her to join them, claiming it would offer a more comfortable and relaxed atmosphere in her later years, she found that the experience was less fulfilling than the solitude of her own home. Alongside the cordial reception from her son-in-law, her moments spent with her son were characterized by a series of complaints she had to endure. At her older son's home, her daughter-in-law assigned a variety of household tasks to her. Initially, her son contributed 5 million VND monthly to support the family's expenses. After several months, he started to voice worries regarding the size of her pension, proposing that she should contribute more significantly to the household expenses. She agreed because she was open to adapting. Eventually, he started giving her only 2 million VND, and then he ceased all support altogether. She took charge of managing all aspects independently. In the same way, upon moving to her younger son's home, the situation did not alter. Nonetheless, this younger son successfully tricked her into providing him with a greater amount of money than what the elder son received. Shortly after her arrival, he sought 200 million VND for a proposed investment initiative. After depleting her funds on their needs and her expenses at her eldest son's home, she realized she had nothing remaining to give. What actions can she pursue to recover it? Her younger son, concerned about her financial circumstances, began encouraging her to consider selling the old house. Ultimately, her visits were rare, happening only a few times each year. The sooner it is sold, the better the opportunity to achieve a favorable price. They consistently proposed that if she possessed financial means, she could allocate them among her siblings, thereby increasing their prosperity and ultimately benefiting her own situation as well. Even after her late husband's proposal to sell the house and relocate with their sons after retirement, she stood firm in her choice to retain it following his death. Ultimately, she and her husband had devoted significant effort, commitment, and passion to secure that residence. This was the only choice accessible for their living situation. If sold, she would feel unsure about the location for family gatherings. She turned down her son's request, but unexpectedly, both her younger son and her elder son applied pressure on her to sell. She resolutely declined to entertain the idea of selling. To appease her children, she allocated 50 million VND to each, all the while falsely asserting that her remaining funds totaled just 200 million VND. This brought their plans to sell the house to a halt, but she felt she could finally embrace a sense of peace. After facing a major health obstacle, she developed a clearer understanding of her circumstances. 3 years prior, she suffered a stroke due to a fall. Fortunately, a compassionate individual quickly took her to the hospital. She needed to limit her mobility, was unable to use her limbs effectively, and encountered difficulties in accomplishing various tasks. As a result, she needed further assistance for her overall health. As she acknowledged her limitations, her children began to disregard her contributions. Her daughter-in-law and son increasingly expressed their dissatisfaction with her, viewing her as a liability and often articulating their grievances regarding the care they believed they were compelled to offer. The doctor advised her to focus on rest and self-care for her recovery. However, living with her son, she often encountered reprimands and disapproval. This may have contributed to her ongoing stroke complications. Ultimately, there were arrangements to move her to a care facility. She displayed no interest in going there at all. The experience felt restrictive, as though I were in a space that limited my ability to navigate freely. As a result, she decided to return to her hometown, seek the support of a caregiver, and adopt a more relaxed way of living. Initially, her children showed some hesitation, implying that independent living didn't necessitate a considerable financial commitment, which eventually led them to back her decision. A compromise was necessary. Shortly after her return home, there was a significant enhancement in her overall health. She demonstrated the ability to walk, her limbs showed improved flexibility, and she was capable of handling some fundamental household tasks. After careful consideration, she determined that deciding against selling the house and preserving her savings rather than relinquishing everything to her children was truly the correct decision. If she were to lose her home or financial stability, she would have to rely on her children for daily support, dealing with their concerns or possibly transitioning to a care facility. If you are still engaged with this video and value the insights being presented, please comment number 1 below to show your continued involvement in this educational journey. Thank you for your valuable time and insights. After facing a major health issue, she realized that as she ages, it is more prudent to take proactive steps for her own well-being instead of relying on her children. First, focus on your health and wellness. Promoting health and wellness throughout all phases of life is essential. Additionally, make certain that you have personal assets and a retirement plan established. It is crucial to foster independence instead of relying on offspring. Third, ensure you have adequate resources and financial stability, and refrain from transferring all your assets to your children. Fourth, focus on your own health by opting to travel and unwind instead of dedicating all your time to work for children. Fifth, emphasize individual initiatives and independence to foster a rewarding and pleasurable life, instead of relying on offspring. These principles played a significant role in her attaining a satisfying and happy later life, while also improving the welfare of her children. Living alongside children did not bring happiness. Living autonomously in her cherished residence allowed her to fully enjoy her preferred way of life. Therefore, for individuals in their younger years, gaining knowledge and experience is highly beneficial. Experiencing solitude in later years can indeed bring about positive aspects. At the very least, a person's life holds value and fascination. In later years, financial resources play a crucial role for older adults. Therefore, if parents have assets, it is prudent for them to leverage those resources for their own advantage and create a will for the inheritance that remains. It is typically advised against transferring your assets to your children while you are still alive. In specific circumstances, it has been noted that individuals may opt to convey ownership of their property to their offspring before their demise, continuing to reside as tenants in the homes they previously owned, as demonstrated in this example. As you progress through the later stages of life, it is crucial to establish a strategy that guarantees you have a dependable backup plan ready to support you. Your resources act as a means to enrich your retirement journey. It is recommended for older adults to avoid transferring their assets to their children before they pass away. This method resembles the act of intentionally streamlining your children's experiences while embracing a more hands-off position for yourself. Wise individuals often choose to transfer their assets to their offspring as they near the later phases of their lives. This strategy effectively reduces the likelihood of asset mismanagement by heirs while ensuring that you maintain adequate resources to meet your retirement requirements. Young individuals frequently exhibit a deficiency in appreciation, and it appears that deference is granted solely when older individuals maintain their belongings. In families with many children, it is common for older parents to convey that their lives are centered around their offspring. They commit themselves to the well-being of their children, frequently putting aside their own needs along the way. In wealthy families, some ungrateful children might pretend to care for their parents just to obtain a larger share of the inheritance. However, at a fundamental level, there may be a lack of genuine desire to honor or care for their parents. To experience a peaceful and rewarding later life, it's crucial to handle your resources thoughtfully to ensure you can meet your living costs after retirement. Steering clear of living arrangements with your children can aid in minimizing unresolved conflicts. Men nearing their 70s should be relishing their golden years in a peaceful setting, surrounded by the support of their family. Nonetheless, confronting the reality can be quite challenging. Ms. Men is the dedicated mother of 4 sons and 2 daughters. In her earlier years, she devoted herself to the careful nurturing and support of her children. In her advanced age, her 4 sons are reluctant to offer assistance and often avoid each other. The 4 sons are tasked with the care of their mother, but none are prepared to commit to even one full day of responsibility. During one instance, Ms. Men was visiting her eldest son's home when she experienced a dog bite, which required her to remain there for a few days. However, the family conveyed their disappointment. Ms. Men later went to the residences of her 2nd and 3rd sons, but she discovered that she was moved each time. During her visit to her sons, she had to be considerate of their spouses. Her life presented numerous challenges, despite her deep love for her children. The persistent competition among her offspring left her feeling more and more exhausted. Throughout her health challenges, she managed to handle everything on her own. Her 2 daughters are profoundly concerned for their mother and have made countless efforts to reunite her with them at home. Nonetheless, the sons express hesitation, worried about possible social consequences. As a result, they keep their mother to maintain their position. The daughters desire to offer care for her, but they find themselves feeling helpless in the circumstances. At 70, Ms. Men understands that living with any of her children might not be the most beneficial option for her health and happiness. She is reluctant to transition to a retirement community, worried that it may be seen as a sign of ingratitude. The core issue stems from her deep-seated pride and reluctance to face this reality. Therefore, it is recommended that older adults refrain from moving in with their children's households post-retirement. Although the intention is to offer support and motivation, this could lead to an outcome that is not as favorable as hoped. Coexisting with multiple generations in a single household frequently results in disagreements arising from differing perspectives and ways of life. Setting boundaries can frequently contribute to maintaining a harmonious relationship instead of causing strain within the children's home. After retirement, rather than being met with appreciation from your children, you might encounter a wave of complaints and criticism. To foster a peaceful and rewarding later stage of life, it is beneficial to connect with your children and provide support when it is genuinely required. It's crucial to maintain balance and not push yourself too far while looking after your children. In today's environment, many retirees opt to stay engaged in the workforce to enhance their financial stability, support their families, or address lingering financial obligations. Upon reaching retirement, some parents frequently find themselves shouldering additional responsibilities while managing the household tasks for their children. Instead of focusing on their own health and well-being, they often exceed their limits. This indicates a significant mistake. After retirement, it is unrealistic for older adults to take on excessive work commitments. Making self-care a daily priority is crucial for maintaining overall health and wellness. When well-being is at risk, it not only causes individual suffering but also impacts the children significantly. Older adults should focus on staying active and taking care of their well-being instead of pushing themselves too hard. Regardless of income level, it can be insufficient for handling medical expenses if health deteriorates. As we age and may experience increased vulnerability, it certainly does not mean that we cannot find joy. By carefully considering our retirement options, we can secure a peaceful and rewarding future. Ultimately, let's focus on the story. I will succeed, Mom. Certainly. The young woman carefully arranges her attire, adds a hint of lip balm, and twirls elegantly before the mirror. Her mother remarks, "You look beautiful, but the neckline seems a tad too revealing." The daughter laughs softly and responds, "It's not quite the same as it once was, Mom." Her mother quietly walks to the kitchen to begin making lunch. The daughter approaches, takes the watermelon slices her mother has arranged, and asks, "Aren't you worried about getting your lipstick smudged?" The daughter laughs softly, noting that the lipstick was a gift from Thailand. "This is remarkably well made, Mom." The mother expresses her astonishment. "Is that really the case?" The daughter softly kisses her mother's cheek and says, "I'm leaving now." Mom. As the daughter has grown, she has come to mirror her mother more closely, yet her beauty shines even brighter thanks to her exceptional sense of style. She appreciates a secure profession and a significant salary, spending her time on retail therapy and savoring fast food delights. Each time she comes back home, she brings with her a wealth of clothing, beauty products, and fashionable accessories. Occasionally, she reflects on the significance of acquiring a new wardrobe or some material for her mother to craft a new ensemble. The clothing rarely fits her mother well, and the fabric often disappoints, but her mother recognizes that the intention is to celebrate her beauty, echoing her younger days. Her daughter has an extraordinary beauty, and each time someone offers a compliment, her mother radiates pride and replies, "My daughter is truly beautiful." The daughter has stopped coming by. A month has passed since her previous visit home. Her mother, now in retirement, devotes her time to a range of activities at home, such as managing household chores, caring for her plants, cooking meals, and prioritizing her health and wellness. Occasionally, she experiences tiredness and has little desire to eat, preferring to sit by the creek, resting her knees on a hill while observing the clouds overhead. Her daughter is flourishing and holds a strong bond of love for her mother. This month, her daughter is busy with a new position and has not come back home. Her mother seeks to provide support in a considerate manner, offering small gestures of care each week, such as health supplements, fresh fruits, and a new outfit. Her daughter additionally offers some treats. Upon her return, her mother expects the timing to be just right and eagerly awaits a visit enriched with considerate presents. After embracing her mother, the daughter softly inquired, "Mom, may I rest for a bit? We can share dinner together later. I hold you in high regard." She asked, "Are you experiencing tiredness from your studies?" The daughter chose to stay quiet. The mother suggested that they recline side by side. The daughter settled comfortably, resting her head softly on her mother's arm. "Mom, you've achieved remarkable strides in your weight management journey." The daughter enveloped her mother in a tender embrace, her arms encircling her in a heartfelt display of affection. The daughter delicately placed her hand to her lips and gently nibbled down. A faint bite mark appeared momentarily before fading away. The daughter found solace in the idea that her parents looked youthful and that her mother continued to exude vibrancy and energy. The daughter took in the external influence and felt those emotions deeply. If you find yourself still engaged with this video and gaining insights from these lessons, kindly comment with the number 2 below to show your ongoing involvement in this educational journey. Thank you for your valuable time and insights. The daughter took pleasure in sipping warm ginger-infused water. The mother had thoughtfully prepared the ginger by soaking it the day before and then made it for her. After coming back from school, she drank it daily, but there was still some ginger water left in the glass. The mother experienced a sense of regret and channeled it into creating a delightful jam. As the mother meticulously poured the jam into a sieve to cool, the daughter entered the kitchen and eagerly indulged in it with her hands, savoring each bite with youthful enthusiasm and a satisfying crunch. The daughter contemplated, "Is it delicious, Mom? Spicy, sweet, bitter. Much like the complexities of life." Her mother advised her to allow the ginger to drain. "Who encouraged you to articulate your thoughts in such a way, my dear?" At this point in your journey, making well-informed decisions is crucial. The daughter overlooked the cherished garments her mother had carefully kept. The mother gathered all the buttons and carefully placed them in a box, highlighting the significance of preserving them for future use to avoid unnecessary waste. The daughter commented, "Mom, you're becoming a bit older and a little whimsical." The mother has just provided her response. Excessive waste is a significant issue that requires attention. The daughter laughed lightly and said, "If you keep talking like that, many people would have been in trouble by now." The mother looked surprised and asked, "Why do you talk like that?" The daughter didn't respond, her thoughts consumed by images of dishonest officials who squandered public money while enjoying extravagant lifestyles. What might be causing the postponement of their consequences? The mother had a small wooden box, its surface gleaming with a polished finish, and it was carefully locked for security. The daughter had noticed it from an early age. Each time she neared the box, her mother would caution her not to touch it, reassuring her that it would be given to her at the right time. After receiving several warnings, the daughter stopped trying to access the box. That morning, as the daughter got ready to ride her bike, the mother asked her usual question, "Will you be home for dinner today?" When the daughter, feeling frustrated about being late to school, replied, "I don't know yet." On that specific day, the daughter observed a look in her mother's eyes that seemed to convey an unspoken plea for assistance. She breathed out gently and declared, "I will come back." Ensure to prepare rice accompanied by tomato soup featuring meat stuffing. I possess a deep enthusiasm for it. The mother conveyed her happiness and stated, "All right, I will cook and prepare some bread for you." It is advisable to refrain from eating food from street vendors. It presents considerable expenses and sanitation issues. The young woman swiftly hopped on her bicycle and pedaled away. On that particular day, the daughter felt an increasing wave of unease. She kept a close eye on the clock, eagerly awaiting the end of the day. As the last day of exam preparation came to an end, she was still managing her workload by 6 p.m. Nonetheless, she expressed a desire to leave. She made her way to her bicycle to begin her journey home. At the gate, a vendor was presenting a selection of lively, fresh roses. The daughter acquired some, intending to bring them home for her mother. Upon opening the door, she was taken aback to discover her mother missing, a notable deviation from the familiar setting. Worried, she rushed to the kitchen and found that her mother had already prepared the meal. The rice cooker was turned off, and the stuffed tomato sat warm on the stove, suggesting that her mother had just completed her cooking. On the dining table sat a steaming cup of ginger-infused water alongside a plate of zesty ginger, carefully prepared by her mother. Nevertheless, her mother was not present. The daughter asked, "Mom, where are you?" She quickly entered the bedroom and discovered her mother lying on the bed. She tried to awaken her, but her mother seemed to be unresponsive. Her mother's hand, which had once exuded warmth, slowly turned cold and stiff. The daughter, filled with concern, quickly called for an ambulance. The ambulance promptly took her mother to the hospital. The doctor performed a swift evaluation and observed that there had been a sudden increase in blood pressure. The daughter had come with her mother at a moment that was no longer advantageous. Regrettably, the chance for action has elapsed. The daughter fainted. She had never expected that this moment would come to pass. Her mother was in excellent condition and had just cooked a meal for her. Her father and younger sibling returned her to their home. She was having difficulty walking. As she stepped into her mother's room, her eyes were drawn to the wooden box she had observed previously. She took it on herself, making certain that it was under her sole responsibility. It was unusual for her to take such a step, yet here she stood, cradling the box in her hands. The daughter carefully sought out the key and was able to open the box with success. Inside was a pink knitted scarf lovingly made by her mother many years ago. The daughter decided against wearing it, considering it too old-fashioned. Underneath the scarf rested a beloved child's knitted sweater, a treasured item that had been worn by the daughter long ago. The sweater was carefully folded and elegantly adorned with her name. The daughter found a notebook filled with her early writings from first grade, highlighting her youthful and unpolished handwriting. She found a stunning golden necklace along with a thoughtfully written note stating it was a dowry for my daughter. This represented the complete essence of her mother's legacy. Nonetheless, the daughter had earlier mocked the wooden box. The account detailed the family's difficult past and the daughter's developmental experiences. With unwavering determination, the daughter gently reassured her mother, "I will flourish, Mom. I assure you that while it is widely acknowledged that caring for elderly or unwell parents poses considerable challenges and requires a level of resilience that many find difficult to sustain, our parents grow older with us. Providing care and demonstrating respect for our parents is the most significant expression of our appreciation for them. Although achieving perfection might be impossible, it is crucial to concentrate on making the most informed decisions that are within our reach. We value your involvement as we explore these significant viewpoints on managing life as we grow older. By understanding the importance of resource management and recognizing the need for personal space while focusing on our well-being, we have examined key factors for attaining a fulfilling and peaceful later stage in life. Your feedback and insights are highly valued and appreciated. What valuable perspectives have you gathered from today's conversation? Please share a key insight that you plan to integrate into your everyday practices. Your knowledge and experiences are incredibly important, so we encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments section below this video. Your feedback on this video would be immensely appreciated. If you found it helpful, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Your support empowers us to continue creating content that inspires and guides us. Your engagement in our community is highly valued.